keep this as the screen.
Okay, let me just
Okay. Which is what? This slideshow. Like that.
Yeah.
There you go. Looking good. Jenny Walton. She a panelist?
No, no, she's attendee.
Oh.
Are you joining to your phone?
So that I can walk away in case I create an echo.
Oh. Oh, there's Katarina coming in. So we can see the people are coming in. So we'll be able to see who's everyone there. Can they hear me though? Huh?
Hi, Mbolelo. It's Katarina. Yeah, we can absolutely hear you, so everything is fine. So don't stress. I can show we won't leave you hanging.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good, good.
That's good. Starting to feel it's nice and warm now. So yeah, my mood is instantaneously improved now that the weather is also improving. So
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We needed that.
yeah,
We needed that. What's it, Rihanna? So you're in the meeting now?
Yeah, hi, Rihanna.
Hello, good luck.
Hi,
Amy.
Nicole. How are you? Good,
Good
good.
and you? All ready?
Yes, we're waiting.
Awesome. We're all right behind you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome.
So I think we'll give it another 2 minutes and then we can probably kick off.
Okay.
Thomas, we'll wait for your signal.
Are you talking to him now?
I'm back on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, Mbolelo. I'm just trying to put it on live. And
Oh, you try to put on Facebook Live?
So we just had Stuart join. How's it, Stuart?
Hello.
Hello, how's it?
Oh, come on, Stuart. You can do better than that.
It's been a long day.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, that's much better.
Are you sitting in our panel though?
No, I don't know. I'm not here for the whole thing, so I don't think I need to be in the panel. I've came on whatever invite I was sent. I've probably got a poor man's invite.
How's the ribs doing, Stuart?
They're okay, getting there. I actually went X-rayed today. I'm getting a bit better. I'm still grumpy though.
Hi, Mbolelo. Shall we get started then?
Do we have people in, we've got people coming on board.
Yeah, we just got, we're just waiting to go live on Facebook, which normally attracts us a very big audience.
Okay.
So to everybody that's joined so far, welcome. I'm Thomas Overbeck, General Manager of the South African Chefs Association. And sure, I'm very flattered that I get the pleasure of introducing this fantastic initiative and idea to you. Just working on the technical side of things. Will be in action in a few minutes.
Thanks, Thomas.
All right, but I think I'll get started. And now then, we've got most of the team that have registered to take part in this Zoom webinar. They've arrived. So if I may then start off with welcoming you to the One Meal, Many Thanks initiative and the presentation of today as it will be introduced by Mbulelo from Tiger Brands. To start with, it's an initiative that I'd like to congratulate RCL, Tiger Brands, McCain's, Bidfood and Unilever on having put together an incredible idea, and I think in its own value, a particularly big step forward in a positive way to challenge the return from COVID-19. It's a super piece of work, and I can only commend everybody involved in this. So in particular, the marketing manager of Tiger Brands, Mbulelo Tangweni, is going to be taking us through it. I welcome you, and I welcome Rihanna Goosen, the National Product Development Manager of Tiger Brands as well. Really thank you for making this available to us and for sharing this time with us this afternoon. If I may then, with that, hand over to Mbulelo to take us further. Sorry,
Thank you very
again,
much, Thomas.
If I may, just a little bit of housekeeping. At the bottom of your screen, there's a button that says chat. Please put your questions there if you have any for the panel. And for Mbulelo, we will happily address them at the end of the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Thomas, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We really appreciate it. We're very excited here to come and bring you this exciting campaign, which we've worked very hard to put together in response to COVID-19. And I think as partners in the collaboration, I mean, we're really quite excited to bring this to you guys. So I'm just gonna take you through the presentation. And once we've gone through the presentation, we're gonna allow you some time at the end of it to take some Q&A. I have Rihanna here who's gonna assist me in terms of managing that. And she's also gonna be helping us in terms of loading some of the hashtag comms that we've got available, which we would like you guys to please share with your members of your digital platforms. Okay, so let's get started. So essentially the campaign the collaboration itself is, as I've said, in response to COVID-19. And as you probably know, I mean, I don't have to tell you this, that the impact of COVID-19 has been quite devastating to our industry. So we as suppliers to the industry got together, and this is RCL, Unilever, McCain, Bidfood, and ourselves. And we really got together to talk about how can we address the issues around COVID and in a really tangible way. So essentially the conversations between ourselves started around March, and we really crystallized the ideas around middle of May in terms of the solution, or what we think is the solution we put on board. And so essentially we're quite excited to bring that solution to you guys as a response to COVID-19. So it's been quite an exciting initiative and campaign that we've built as members of the collab, and we really hope that you guys be quite excited to join us in the campaign itself. So essentially, just before I kickstart, I just want to give you a taste of what the campaign would look like. so we can talk about something that you would have experienced. So let me just run through the video and then give you a sense of what we're talking about. Essentially, what is One Meal, Many Things campaign.
Thank you.
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 You'd be surprised how many people benefit with every meal you order.
Okay, just to double check, has the sound come off? Or can you guys not hear the sound?
No, we could hear the sound on our side in Mbolelo. You're good.
Oh, perfect. Rihanna's making me nervous here. Cool. All right. So essentially then, what is the campaign about? What is One Meal, Many Things campaigns about? Really, it's our response as the industry partners in terms, as I've said, on how can we offer tangible support to food service industry. So essentially, the way we looked at the issue around COVID-19 is really, it's around 3 pillars. Well, there's an issue around the safety, which is really talks to the whole lockdown. Because essentially, I mean, you remember this in March, we've all been asked to stay at home and socially distance and keep in smaller groups. So essentially, we've been asked to stay away and be safe in our homes. So essentially, the whole issue around safety is a big concern, which has been addressed in terms of around the industry, in terms of the protocols that the industry has put together. And I'll touch on that very quickly. The other pillar is about how do we then communicate the protocols and the fact that the industry has addressed the issues of safety in a way that makes people comfortable to be able to go out and support these restaurants. And in that respect, we're quite excited that SA Tourism has assisted us in terms of driving the awareness around that campaign. And as ourselves, as the members of the collab, we've put around 5 million rand in putting together a very exciting incentive that is building on the pull through back into those restaurants in terms of driving the footfall. The third leg of that also, it's with what we've also identified is around the support which we think the smaller operators, particularly those guys who do not have the safety net of being part of these big franchise groups. Those smaller operators, individual operators, who we think are having huge challenges in terms of operational costs. Because as you would know, a lot of these guys have not operated for close to 4 months. They have not been able to generate any revenue. So in a sense, to be able to open up their doors and be able to trade, we felt that they need support. And we've felt that the best way we can assist them was around providing what we are good at, which is to provide them products to assist them in that respect. So we've put together between ourselves and with Bidfood as well, we've put together some hampers to the value of 8 million rand, which are going to be made available to the small operators to be able to operate in those environments. But above that, we've also provided them with what we're calling it starter kits, which are really addressing issues around service, which is a big challenge for them. For example, we're talking about support around finance, support around health and safety, and operations as well. And what that means that we've created portals where they are able to get all of this assistance that they require around those issues in a centralized place where they can get the support. Because there's a lot of information that's available out there, but most of operators don't know where to go to. So it's important to be able to assist them in a way where they can be able to draw all of that information from. So it's quite important that in terms of an SME standpoint that we look at assisting them in terms of helping them managing their operational costs. So if we go back in terms of the issue around safety, I mean, I don't have to tell you in terms of how these protocols are being promulgated, but essentially the whole issue around safety has been addressed in terms of the agreement between, these have been developed between FEDHASA, TBCSA, which is the Tourism Business Council of South Africa, and the Restaurant Collective. So they've formulated these these protocols. We obviously, from our end, we're not part of formulating those. But however, in terms of where we saw our role is to help them in terms of communicating, their adherence to these protocols. And I'm quite happy to also just advise you that Bedford has been quite integral in terms of helping the industry in terms of creating the database around the protocols, the communication around the protocols, and also in terms of how they're going to be able to track, people coming into these restaurants and making sure that there is a level of confidence that is communicated to consumers in terms of identifying restaurants who meet the requirements and who are able to sort of track the people that are coming into those restaurants and be able to track and be able to offer a resource in the event that there is any issue of perhaps of a COVID case in those restaurants. They'll be able to identify those restaurants and identify where the people are sitting at that restaurant, and be able to identify, for example, by the way of contact details that they would have taken as part of that the WhatsApp, that app itself. So that is purely just a Bedford initiative that's outside of this campaign, but it's a tool that's available to the industry, which we think would be of great value to the industry. And but in terms of where we think the opportunity is, for example, in terms of driving the issue around safety itself is for the campaign to start talking in terms of giving people a level of comfort in terms of the industry meeting the requirements around the protocols, but clearly from our standpoint, because we are collaborators, we're sitting outside of those restaurants, we're not the operators, we can't guarantee that those restaurants are 100% meeting those protocols. But however, we are reliant on those restaurants themselves having registered, for example, with the Bedford WhatsApp app, and being able to meet all those criteria, and those criteria would then be confirmed. But from our standpoint, we want to encourage people to be able to go out to those establishments with an understanding that the safety issues have been addressed. So essentially, our big objective in terms of this whole campaign is to really change the narrative, because essentially, if you think in terms of how the issue of COVID has been addressed by the industry, it's always been about the impact of COVID to businesses. And it is true that businesses are impacted, and we're seeing businesses closing down, and we're seeing businesses actually not being able to trade. And a lot of those businesses have actually taken quite a stand to some extent in terms of really making their voices heard. But however, what we think is quite important at times is also to understand that between those businesses are made out of people, and those people have jobs, and those jobs translate to people's livelihoods. Those people have got families. So essentially, in terms of really looking at how we're addressing the issue of COVID, we had this, as I've already alluded to, the issue of fear really talks to the fact that we've been locked down for close to 4 months, and we've been told to stay away. And in terms of us coming in and talking to people and addressing the issue around business and bringing that back to people, we could have talked about fear, but really the question of fear really it's not a good focus. It's not a positive conversation to have, and really fear breeds fear in a sense. So we really wanted to talk in terms of how can we get people in a positive way to really go out and support these restaurants. We could have also talked about fun, but fun itself in the context of what we've been told, in the context of actually being asked to stay at home and keep away from from bigger groups, it's a very serious issue around COVID-19. So we felt that talking about fun or focusing on fun would be counter to government messaging, and it would be irresponsible for us to do that. So rather what we're focusing on is about humanizing the impact of COVID in terms of people in those businesses. And really the focus is about what has the impact been on those people, and really talk about gratitude. And this is where we're talking about people's impacted in food service, and really just getting people to understand the impact of, the number of people who are impacted in food service. Because most people don't know that there are close to 1.8 million people employed in food service, in terms of food service and its value chain. So it's a lot of people, and behind those people, there's families. And those people have got responsibilities. So the number is 1.8 million, but literally, I mean, you can multiply, triple that number in terms of the impact of those people and their families. So we wanted to draw the attention of the consumers, to those people impacted, and really appeal to people's need to do good, because essentially, people want to have a positive impact into the world. And we really felt that people would want to be in a place where they can do good to help other people who are impacted negatively. So we want to give them an opportunity here to thank them for the support that they're giving to the restaurants impacted by COVID-19. So we've developed a campaign which we're calling, as I've said, 1 meal, many thanks, which really then talks to the, to the impact of your singular meal in a restaurant in terms of its impact on the value chain of food service. For example, we're playing on the word of Q in terms of the impact of those people. So we've created some really lovely visuals in terms of bringing those alive and making consumers see in a visual way the number of people are impacted. And really it's about telling people how many people benefit with every meal that they order. And you'll see in the visuals there, we've got the impact in terms of not just the waiters or that actual business or that restaurant itself, but what the impact is in terms of the value chain itself, from the greengrocer who supplies that restaurant, to the baker who supplies that restaurant, the farmer, the cleaner, the car guard, who are mostly forgotten in terms of patrons going to this restaurant, because those are the people also impacted. They're not able to generate those minimum incomes from getting tips from people parking their cars. So it's not just the formalized business that's impacted, but a whole lot of people who are impacted, even those that we may not necessarily think of when we think about the impact of COVID in businesses. So we wanted, as I've said, to really show that in a strong visual way to make it real. So in a sense, we've created some executions that talks to dining, as in sit down, and we talked to drive-through and also talked through to deliveries as well in terms of the visual execution to really get people to see exactly how what that looks like. So then the question then is for us this afternoon is then what's the benefit for yourselves as people who are in this webinar, and how can you participate? And this is where we really would like you guys to come on board and support this great initiative. So essentially then in terms of the campaign itself, I mean, there are a couple of touch points and I'm going to touch on those. As I've said, and I've showed you at the beginning of the presentation, we've got a digital video, which essentially just beautifully just shows out the impact of people, the impact of that singular meal purchase in a restaurant setup, what that looks like and who gets benefit from that. So we've got that digital video. It's a 14-second video, which is available to all you guys in terms of being able to to utilize in your platforms, should you wish, and we really would encourage you to do that. We also have digital banners, which are available as well, and those who are available for you guys to be able to utilize those in your websites. But quite excitingly, we also had a PR and a social media campaign. The PR campaign itself, we launched that in the middle of July to really start to talk to business and tell them what the purpose of the collaboration was, who we are and why we did what we did, to really just build attraction around the campaign itself. And I mean, I'm quite excited to tell you that we've had very good positive PR around it. We've been on TV, for example, on Business Day TV, giving interviews on the campaign. We've also been on 702 with Bruce on business with Bruce in the evenings, and the feedback has been quite good. At the same time, we also started with our social media campaign in terms of really just putting out there these comms assets that we've built, which I'm going to share with you shortly. The other key thing for us in terms of really amplifying the 1 Meal Many Thanks campaign, we think that, you know, from a point of consumption, which is at the restaurant where people actually are, and they actually are consuming, and they are actually up, you know, paying for the meals, which is feel that it would be more, you know, it would be very, very, very relevant in terms of being able to really thank people at that point of consumption. So in that respect, we like to partner, you know, with all those, you know, with restaurants in terms of their till receipts, and essentially linking up with your till receipts in terms of being able to generate as part of your receipts, that artwork that you're seeing there in terms of telling consumer at the point of consumption how many people have been impacted with that actual sale. I mean, at this point, we have done some bit of work in terms of quantifying the number of people who are impacted by a singular meal at a restaurant. I've got the 28 number of people who are impacted. But however, I mean, if it's different for your establishments, you know, you're more than happy to change that. But what's important is that at that point of consumption, we need to be able to thank people for their support. Right, so, and then the last part of that is that thank you to consumer campaign. So essentially, we've also, as part of the 1 Meal Many Thanks, we also created and developed an incentive campaign, which is really about thanking consumers for actually going out there and supporting these restaurants. And in that respect, we've got a Gig for Bites campaign, and we're spending there close to over to R1 million, and we're giving away about 11,000 of 1 gig data for a period of about 3 weeks. And really, the mechanic is very simple. It's about consumers going out to restaurants and spending 30 Rand, you know, on a meal, which we think is quite an accessible amount for any value meal. And they then can enter the competition through an SMS or QR code, and they stand in line to win one of these 11,000 1 gigs. So essentially then how to participate in the campaign. And this is really where we would like you guys to help us this afternoon. One of the ways that you can do that is firstly, first option is about simply adding your voice to the campaign by sharing our thank you digital assets, which we've got available. And I think Rihanna has loaded on the comment section 1 or 2 of those assets, or those comms assets. If you could please just you know, just tag those and start sharing them with your followers. That would be great in terms of helping us amplifying the campaign. So the second option is obviously about incorporating into your comms. That's really more involved way of engaging with the campaign, where we're asking you to just, you know, to use the digital assets that we've built, so that the comms assets that we've built, and we have these available in a microsite, which I'm going to share with you shortly. They are available. All you've got to do is basically just go in there, and then you just do a quick sign in with your contact details, and then you've got access to those assets. Okay, so I just want to just show you one last time the video, just to remind you again, encapsulating what we spoke about.
Thank you.
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 You'd be surprised how many people benefit with every meal you order.
Okay. All right, so that was me giving you an overview of the campaign itself. And now we will open the forum to your questions. Do you have any questions there, Jerry?
don't have any questions yet, but I have loaded the website for everybody's convenience. Go and check out the assets that are available. As well as Daniela will be posting in hers on the SUPPO Facebook page, all the pics and Facebook posts, Instagram, whatever you feel like you are comfortable with. Please go and share that. And we really encourage your participation. So I'm eagerly waiting for some questions.
Yeah, we do have a bit of time left. We'd love some questions, guys.
Any of the panelists also want to maybe add something?
Am I able to talk on here? My name's Stuart.
We can hear you.
You've got a VIP access.
There you go. VIP at last. Well done, Umbrello. This looks great. I think it's worth just summarising this a little bit for the guys listening out there. Look, there's been a lot of investment in a piece of creative that's there for you to just thank your customers. We all know how difficult it is out there, and we know a lot of the negative issues that are flowing around. We just want to encourage the industry to start sharing these positive thank yous with your customers, just to say thank you for the support that they're giving you, for each meal that they're bothering to buy from you and they're making an effort to come out for, and whether it's dine-in or whether it's takeout. So these creatives that Bello's just shown you, the video and some still prints, are available for you to share with your customers on your own social media, so that you can speak specifically to your loyal customers and just say thank you to them at this difficult time. And even better if you can download that or download the creative that goes on your till slip, because then every time somebody spends money with you, you're literally going to be saying thank you to them. There's no development for you to do whatsoever. You just visit the website. The website's www.onemealmanythanks.co.za. It'll talk you through quite easily how to just download you can share them on your own media. And we'd appreciate it, and I know the consumers will appreciate the positive words that you're giving them. Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Thank you so much for adding that. And maybe just also from our side as manufacturers, we just want to thank you and support you in this difficult time and do our bit for helping you out and get the industry back on its feet.
Well said, Ron. I think one more thing would be to say that as the manufacturers, we've committed to, we know that this is going to take a long time to repair this industry and to get the normal number of people coming back to our establishments. And as things change, our messages will change. So at the moment, we're out there saying thank you to those consumers. It is anticipated that there will be times when we can more aggressively encourage people to visit your outlet. At the moment, it's not really appropriate to push people to come out immediately. But as the relaxations in the lockdown regulations come, you will see from us new messages that we'll also be sharing with you, that we'll also want you to share with your customers. So when the time is right, we'll start trying to help aggressively trying to push people out more often to outlets as well. But at the moment, let's just be grateful for the support that the consumers are giving us, as we're grateful for the support that you're giving us as suppliers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Bradley? Should I say chef?
Yeah, hi everyone. Let me just put the video on. Hi everyone. Yeah, it's a great initiative that we're fortunate to be part of as a manufacturer. But our reach is only to so many, and hence the webinars that we really are hosting to try and make you aware so that you can make the customers aware. And the whole initiative here really is to try and get your customers to to be made aware that if they dine out once a month, the impact that they'll make if they dined out twice a month. You know, it all helps in the bigger picture. It all helps get the business back up, makes the wheels start turning again a lot faster. So, you know, we do appreciate, you know, the work has been done for you to share. And really it's all about, you know, just applying your social media, your friends, you know, passing the information forward is really the key message that I would like to ask today, so that the consumers become aware. Because, you know, I think before COVID, before our industry is on its knees, I don't think anyone was aware of the impact or even thought about the impact of how many, you know, how many people in the supply chain it affects. You know, and I think this video is a great message to share. It's a simple message, and we just really would appreciate all of the help in sort of promoting this, sharing it on your social platforms. And that's the stance we would like.
Great, thank you, Chef Bradley. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Maybe Katrina Bester or Nicole Harris from Unilever? Any thoughts?
So, hi everyone. I'm hoping everyone can see me. I'm joining Zoom on my phone because you know, all these corporate rules about where we can and can't go. So hopefully the video comes through okay. Yeah, I just, you know, for us this is a long-term partnership, and we're certainly not in. This is not a quick fix. I think Stuart mentioned it as well. The five of us are committed to at least a 12 to 18 month relationship in terms of pushing out communications and sharing stories and getting South Africa behind the entire industry and the value chain that is connected to the restaurant business. So, you know, we in this for the long run. We will continue to push out messages. We will continue to develop tangible business support as best we can. We are talking to big QSR customers to get their voice added to this as well. So we're really using all of our human resources, our financial resources, and our social capital as far as we can to influence as many people to get behind this. And the key here is really for us to win the hearts and minds of our fellow South Africans, because we need them on our side in order to affect real change. And this is the start of this. And I just want to reiterate what Stuart said, is as things change and as we are able to communicate more, we will pivot the communication, and we will continue to drive the messaging in order to help the entire industry get back on its feet as quickly as possible. And every voice that is added to the campaign, every voice that becomes part of our collaboration, just makes our message so much stronger, and we start showing up as a unified industry. And it's much easier and it's much more powerful if we are together than if we are fragmented.
Well said, Katrina. Well said. I think the biggest thing is to bring the humanization aspect to the consumer, to make them understand what the impact would be. I think that's an awesome point. Thank you. Nicole Harris from Unilever, I don't know if you want to add something before we close out.
Unmute. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, hi, lovely to virtually meet you all. And I think what all of my colleagues have said, I'm going to echo from Unilever Food Solutions. I don't think it's often that you see all the competitors get together and put all their hearts and effort to try and help. So from all of us, we really believe this is a way we can try and lift our out-of-home industry. We're doing it to help for all of us and for the 1.8 million people out there. So we look forward to seeing you using these assets and driving consumers to eat in your establishments. And please tell us if there's anything else we can help with. That's what we hear. So thanks for the opportunity today.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. But again, everybody, thank you for watching this. If you're watching this later on Facebook, we really appreciate the time. We really encourage you to share the assets as you're watching the video. Don't delay. We'll continue to update the website. As everybody said, we'll pivot info as soon as things change. And just once again, thank you.
Okay.
Thomas, do you want
Thomas?
to close out of the level?
Thomas?
Mbolelo, with that, thank you very much to everybody who contributed. Katerina, Stuart, Chef Brad, and most importantly, Mbolelo and Rihanna, you guys are amazing. This has got great traction, as you can see, and certainly it's been flighted on all of SA Chef's platforms already, and I think you should get some good feedback there. I'm sure everybody that's here at the moment knows Rihanna's email address, but I would recommend that we put it up somewhere with it so that people who need more information can get hold of you and chat to you with their individual needs and requirements. But to everybody, once again, it's to me, and I think to all of us, it's an incredible breath of fresh air, going with a fantastic initiative, taking a big step forward and opening doors and creating hope, which until now, I think everybody knows COVID-19 has just been the sort of unknown and getting all the different challenges thrown at operations and businesses. So congratulations to all of you. We salute you. And yeah, let's make sure it's a well-known item around the country. Thank you very much for allowing us to be part of it. And ultimately, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for organizing. Thank you for your support. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. We'll be looking
Bye.
at you. We'll be
Thanks,
following everyone
Mbolelo.
on Facebook now. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Mbolelo, are you gone? Oh, okay. Said Farad raised hand. Daniela?